Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. There's another paid request, this time from Johnny. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal, usually the best bet, or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And he wanted me to do a commentary on the original American Ninja from 1985. So, let me get situated. This is a film I definitely have seen quite a few times since I was a kid. A film I did enjoy as a child, still do to this day. My favorite is still the second one, but I do like the first one quite a bit. So, get things situated. Now, I believe this starts with the MGM line logo, like a newer. Because I don't know how people will be seeing this. There might be different streams or different ways. Like, if you have the Tito Lorber, it might start with the Tito Lorber logo. So how about this? Like, this starts with the lion coming out, and then the newer MGM. So for syncing, let's pause at when the Canon logo is coming up. When the Canon logo is coming up, we'll be pretty much in sync. 3, 2, 1, pressing play. Always loved the Canon logo because to me that always meant to be a fun time at the movies. So many people make fun of Canon. To me, it just brought a lot of entertainment, escapism, and joy. As we have our military base here, as we're soon going to be introduced to our main characters, Joe Armstrong, among others, as they're going to be part of this convoy. Fort Sonora. Here, there's Joe Armstrong, Michael Dudikoff, who has a bit of a James Dean, a little bit of a Clint Eastwood with the squinty-eyed quality to it. Not many action films that start with hacky sack. I remember playing hacky sack in school, and like I said, not every action movie that starts there with a hacky sack game. But yeah, Michael Dudikoff, this was very early in his career. This is what made him a star, at least in this category. And we're going to be a lot of canon films. American Ninja 2, Avenging Force, Platoon Leader, among others. Sadly, after canon films, he didn't get to do a whole lot. Like, he did work, but they weren't really much to run home about. Now, that colonel that told him to get in the car, not this guy, but the other guy, they'll be come up in a minute. But yeah, this guy here on the right with the cigar in his hand, that's John LaMotta. I remember him from the TV show Elf. He played Mr. Ockbonnet, the neighbor, the nosy neighbor. I believe his name, I know John LaMotta. Now, of course, the girl there is Judy Aronson, who would later be, well, around before this actually. Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter. I think she got killed in the raft, and Jason put his knife or his machete up and stabbed her while she was in the raft on the lake. And I don't mind this musical score. I don't know what else this guy has done composing wise, but I don't mind it. There's Michael Dudikoff, who did not have any martial arts background, but he kind of learned as he went along. I would still say the score to the second film is absolutely awesome. But that's the reason I like American Ninja. I like this film, but the reason I like American Ninja 2 more is because I like the Caribbean background, the beaches, some of the supporting cast members I liked. Steve James felt like he had a bit more to do. He's definitely in the film a lot earlier compared to this. The score, to me, I think George Clinton did the score. Here's Michael Lynn. I don't know what else he's done. I know also there are times where they use some music from, I think, Missing in Action, because canon films they have in their catalog. Now, of course, this is directed by Sam Furstenberg, who before this had done Revenge of the Ninja, Ninja 3, The Domination. He was doing these ninja films for Golden Globes for Canon, and they were being very successful. So it's like, well, what if we have an American Ninja? Which I know the original title was American Warrior. I guess at first they brought it, brought it to Chuck Norris. Just Chuck Norris was a big star for Canon, Missing Action Films among others, Delta Force. But Chuck Norris, I don't want to hide my face. Which, I mean, is ridiculous because Dudikoff doesn't hide his face much in this movie either. But I guess he just got the image of a ninja and just, I don't want to do it, so. But it was nice to have, it worked out for the best. Just Chuck Norris did Invasion USA, which was a great choice. And then we got to see Michael Dudikoff. Which is sad that he never got a resurgence. He never got a comeback. Like I said, he after 10 films was long and gone. He only did like a couple films that were very forgettable, and then kind of maybe a small supporting role once in a blue moon, and then that's it. By this time, I think he had done like he had a blink and you miss it background role in Uncommon Valor. Like literally, he's like way in the background. You see him for 3 seconds. He had done TV work. Like he was in this short-lived TV show with Brian Dennehy. They used to call Star in the Family, where he played, I think, Brian Dennehy's son. Joe ain't having that shit. There you go, nice elbow. See, Dudikoff just had that look that made him a star. He had that look. Again, the James Dean physique, the Clint Eastwood eyes, soft-spoken voice. Damn women drivers. Flipping cars and shit. There you go. Dudikoff ain't having this shit. Sidekick there. It's kind of nice to see that the soldiers are not completely useless. You see them actually doing their job. It just, again, it's the ninjas, they can't compete. But these guys, they can, so. There you go. Screwdriver to the neck. Tire wrench to the face. It's nice to see the soldiers are somewhat competent before the shit hits the fan. There's the Blast Star Ninja. He ain't having this shit. Now, of course, we gotta, again, with the screenplay, we gotta make it. Well, why is Joe Armstrong not. See, now what happened to this guy? This guy that drove. You see, this guy made it out. Why didn't he stick up for Joe and say, no, Joe's not a traitor, he's not chicken shit. I got it alive. Look, we never see that guy again. Think about it in the storyline. We never see that guy again. That guy would be essential to prove that Joe was not some Well, I guess he wasn't there, to be fair, but show that Joe did help. I do pay attention to see in the strip they mentioned that one guy again. I guess he wasn't there for the ninja stuff, to be fair, when all the people die, so. Everything was fine when I left, then I left and everyone's dead. Except Joe and the girl. There you go. Fuck you in your steering wheel. Yeah, you ain't taking those weapons. Fuck on my face. Hey, you gotta have an explosion. Come on now. 10 minutes in, it's a canon film. Now this guy that plays the Black Star Ninja, got the Black Star right here. He was the villain in the Octagon with Chuck Norris. So he faced off against Chuck Norris. Forget what year they came out, but that was in the 70s. Ooh, Brian's stomach. Yeah, one guy. I don't know how the fuck he got up there in those big ass trees, but they did. I mean, it's violent, but not nearly as violent as the beginning of Revenge of the Ninja when a little kid got a fucking star to the face. Did you watch the beginning of Revenge of the Ninja? I mean, women are being killed. A little kid gets a big old star right into his eye, into his face. And then Ninja 3, like, 50 people die on a fucking golf course. So, this maybe's not as intense as those, but still a worthwhile opening to show the ninjas mean business. But I was saying we had to have Joe get out of that area, otherwise we'd be wondering why isn't he saving his fellow soldiers? Because he was stopping this armament from getting, yeah, have a seat. Now this is a big dick move. Your arrow don't mean shit. This arrow don't mean shit. I always love that. What did it say? He possessed great steel. Yep. Knew I remember something for this. I've seen this quite a few times back in the day. I may not remember everything, but I remember a few things. This brain may be ready for the blue screen of death, but it's not there yet. But yeah, Tandem Films, I grew up watching and enjoying many of their films. They were a great mainstay to a lot of video stores, or in this case, gas stations. Even to the point, I haven't even looked at this yet, but I got a couple of these Canon film guides, which does have American Ninja in it, so. But it pretty much goes through each of the Canon films of the era covers. And actually, I could probably look into this for American Ninja. See what it says here. But yeah, Canon films, whether it be Bloodsport, whether it be Cyborg, whether it be Invasion USA, Teen Solomon's Mines, Over the Top, Death Wish 3, Death Wish 4, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, American Ninja 1 and 2. Oh yeah, well I'm gonna do it again. Fuck your shoes. That's what I think of your shoes. I love that he slaps her back. And her thigh, to be fair, not her face. Let's see. Golan got missing action writer James Bruner to write an American Ninja strip. Bruner penned a script in which Norris would play an anti-terrorist operative with the code name American Ninja. Everyone involved loved the strip, but thankfully came to the realization that they couldn't call it American Ninja if, well, there weren't any ninjas in it. That strip was retooled and set into production as Invasion USA. The previous ninja, Sho Tsuji, had left the company for greener pastures after wrapping up their first ninja trilogy with Enter the Ninja, Revenge of the Ninja, and Ninja 3. The rising action star handed in his walking papers after the company chose to make Lucinda Dickey the star of the third film, downgrading Sho Tsuji to a supporting role after he played the hero in Revenge. So he found work in other movies like Pray for Death, Rage of Honor, and Nine Deaths of the Ninja. And gave him a James Bond-like crack at a non-ninja role in Jean-Claude Van Damme's Black Eagle. Sam Furstenberg had done Revenge of the Ninja Ninja 3, so they brought him back to do this. They'd be shooting in the Philippines, so set on an American military base. They tell writer Paul DeMilchi to flesh out all the details and write the screenplay, and he was a former Marine. Apparently, Paul DeMilchi had been friends with Bruce Lee through actor James Coburn, whom he had lived with and collaborated with on various projects. Open call was put out in trade papers to acting schools and martial arts studios. Any potential star had to at least look and move like they knew martial arts, even if in real life they did not know it. The finalists included Michael Dudikoff and Chad McQueen, son of Steve McQueen. Furstenberg knew in his gut that Dudikoff would be the perfect hero from the moment he first met him. Michael Dudikoff was born and raised in California. His plans were to become a child psychologist. He was waiting tables to put himself through college. He served dinner to an Esquire fashion editor who asked him if he considered doing some runway modeling work. He was in print ads for Adidas sneakers. He got commercial work from everything from Copperstone sunscreen to Coca-Cola, the Army Reserve, and Zit cream. He was Joni's boyfriend on Happy Days. He had tiny roles in films like Blade Birthday, Tron, Uncommon Valor, a lead role in Radioactive Dreams with Abu Payun, the Charlotte Bryan Denny sitcom Star of the Family. He was one of Tom Hanks' buddies in Bachelor Party. Let's see. Julie Aronson was in Friday the Depart for the final chapter. She had also, in the same year, was in Weird Science. Yeah, she's. Here's Steve James. First appearance of Steve James, greatly missed. Love Steve James. American Ninja 3 I could watch for Steve James, but Steve James just should have been the star. I think him not getting the star role in that movie, among other stuff, kind of made him not return for other American Ninja films and kind of deviated away from canon. Canon films should have put the Rocky boots on Steve James and get him action films in the vein of Chuck Norris, in the vein of stuff like this, and have Steve in the lead role. Because Steve, when he got to be the lead, they were either Riverbend was more drama. I know he's partial to the story. I wasn't a fan of the film. I think it's very boring. There's that one he did with Red Brown, which very cheap looking. Again, Steve James, other than supporting roles in the Delta Force and Hero and the Terror, Avenging Force, which he should not have been killed off in that movie. I think that was a mistake. I know Steve James didn't like that either. But, you know. Oh, speaking of Steve James, he had done work on The Wiz, The Wanderers, Dress to Kill, The Warriors, playing one of the Baseball Furies. I didn't know that. He was one of the Baseball Furies. The Exterminator. This struck down tragically young by cancer in 1993 at the age of 41. Way too young. The heat was 115 degrees. Production went about as smooth as you could hope for a Canon film. Although Michael Dudikoff did come down with malaria. And stuntman Steve Lambert got smashed up while doubling for Dudikoff in the movie's Motorcycle Leap, which that's later on. Sorry about the background noise. It's, middle of nowhere. There's chickens, roosters, all that stuff. If you didn't know the year, the president behind would tell you Ronald Reagan there. Ronald Reagan, the actor? Oh, they Back to the Future. And even though he saved the girl's life, he just fucking gets trashed for it. So American Ninja opened over Labor Day weekend 1985, debuted number 4 at the box office. Movies ahead of it were Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Teen Wolf, and Back to the Future. Made $10 million on a $1 million budget. Had to be renamed American Warrior in France and a few other territories because they did not like the word ninja. Actually, I guess in France there was another movie called American Ninja, Nine Deaths of the Ninja. So that's why in France it had to be called that. Then they're also happy because they thought Michael Dudikoff was going to be another new big star, and he's a lot younger. At that time, Chuck Norris was in his mid-40s. Charles Bronson was in his early 60s. So the guy was like turned 30. We need at least good 10 years out of this guy. That bastard. All he did was save the girl's life. How dare he? It's so bad of him to save the girl's life. Of course, the men are like, "You weren't there to save our other guys. Neither were you. Where the fuck were you at? Sitting there with the thumb up your ass." All the seats of the men going home because they're dead. So you think they ran away, or such a big hero, you didn't save our... I mean, what the fuck did you guys do? You didn't do shit. Be pissed all you want. You didn't do shit. Yes, she did. She was called your mom. It stinks. Maybe wash your ass then, shit face. If you wash your ass, maybe it wouldn't stink as much. Fucking fascist. Oh, to impress the girl. They were dead anyway. So they thought he went half-cocked and just did whatever. Of course, they don't know shit because they weren't there. Then, of course, this guy on the right, in the John Fujioka? I'm bad with names. I remember from They Call Me Bruce, he was the guy that is trying to teach the lead guy in that. And it's a very silly comedy. So there's a bit where the lead does his punch, but then something else breaks magically. And the master's like, "Did you do that?" "No, it was Memorex." That was always one of my favorite jokes in that movie. Of course, if you don't remember the commercial, you or remember what member it is, you won't get understand what the fuck they're saying. But I said that always made me laugh. I think this guy who plays the villain, he was like on soap operas or something. Of course, they shoot in the Philippines because it's a lot cheaper to shoot there. And you get a lot of people that will do everything and anything and kill themselves for peanuts. Like they'll literally like kill themselves, blow themselves up, fall from 3 stories high for a Coke and a smile, a meal, and that's pretty much it. How convenient that Michael Dudikoff's master just happens to work for the bad guys who Dudikoff's going to be fighting against. Again, how convenient. So you got this training camp. I have to think like you're this guy, like okay, you don't. This guy's running drugs or running weapons, and then they just walk in, they see just a ninja camp. Just how would you think? And they're color coded too, like Skittles. You got your blue ones, you got your yellow ones, you got your red ones. Like black made sense to, but why yellow? Like why yellow? I mean, Bruce Lee had a great yellow jumpsuit in Game of Death, but he wasn't trying to be a ninja. But what does yellow do? I mean, red, it's a cool color. Blue, at least, is somewhat darker color, like black. Like, there's a guy in orange. Is that the only orange ninja back there? Oh no, there's one up top too. Just to show how good this guy is. I mean, he went up against Chuck Norris the Octagon, so he should be. Now, this music I think is from Revenge of the Ninja. Yeah, this music is from Revenge of the Ninja. Yeah. Which, of course, Canon owns so they could use it. Yeah, this is definitely Revenge of the Ninja music. Which Revenge of the Ninja, I remember the opening, but I did not see the rest of the movie. But the opening was like I'm like, I thought it was a dream, like a nightmare at first. I remember this thing where this family was massacred. Someone got like a star to the face, ninja star. It wasn't until many, many years later, I'm like, oh shit, it's this movie. Or Revenge of the Ninja. Which has a great score. But I didn't know that score when I first saw this movie, but that's definitely Revenge of the Ninja music. Yeah, why would you wear like an orange ninja suit? Maybe that's their version of like black like belts. Like you have the red belt, but instead of belts, have the whole fucking get up. No, you don't have a yellow belt. You have the whole yellow get up. But I'm just saying, like that's not really. You can't really, you can't really be incognito wearing all yellow, all orange. You know. And like I said, a lot of people talk shit about canon films, but you know what, man? In their heyday, they gave the audience what we wanted: fun, escapism, entertainment. Badass heroes, action, adventure, humor, levity, escapism. Look at how many Hollywood movies They can't even do that today. But these films only have like $1 million budget or something. I think Dutar was a bit intimidated by Steve James because Steve had experience in martial arts and he didn't, so I don't think they were as close in this movie until maybe halfway through. And then by the second one, you could tell they're a lot more easier with each other. But which works for the characters? Does you say the same with the characters as well? You weren't there, you don't know what's going on. Like I said, Dutov had the look. He had the demeanor. Like I said, it's just a shame that I didn't after canon films. It's like he did some movies like Chain of Command. I didn't mind. I liked that one, and he did a like, but there were just like Crash Dive, Gale Force, really bottom of the barrel movies. He did one with Billy D. Williams, Moving Target. Very lame, forgettable stuff. So I just to be fair, he did try to have a career afterward, but just did not nearly pan out. It's okay, he doesn't know martial arts, so try to teach him some simple moves. That he could mimic. He's not going to be Chuck Norris or John Van Damme, but he did have a few movements there. I like the men giving him shit. Like, oh, you badass. Hey! And Steve, once again, you had another guy had that star quality. He could be great with his physicality. You could tell he knew his stuff. But he had the voice, the look, the mannerisms, the levity, the humor. To even make American Ninja 3 watchable. That's the only reason I watched that film is because Steve James. He's a lot of fun in that. And he should have just been the star. He should have been the American Ninja. Or okay, it's called American Ninja 3 because it's following the same lineage, but you have Steve James as the star. I mean, although to be honest, it does seem like the director or someone else, even they knew Steve James was really the star, because Steve James seems like he's given more personality and more to work with in terms of action. In a way, instead of David Bradley, he's Buckethead. Play some guitar for me, man. Ah, look at that. Hey, the 80s, we bond after we kick each other's ass. You kick my ass, then we bond. That's how they do in the 80s. But barely anybody else agrees. Up there's Mr. Otmonic. It shows how much of a stand-up guy Steve James' character is, too. He's defending the guy. See, and Steve James is trying to help. Steve James is trying to help out, and a friendship is born. Oh yeah, that motorcycle's to be used later. I think this is where he's going. We heard a little bit of the backstory, but he's going to tell a little bit more to Jackson here about the story. So American Ninja 2, it's in the, I forget, the Bahamas, the Caribbean, however you want to put it. And you get pretty much a drug lord and ninjas. Kind of similar to the plot of this one, to be fair, but different location. And then American Ninja 3, I don't remember the details as to why Dudikoff did not come back. Let me see if it says in here. Let me check real quick. So the sequel came out in May 1987. It was shot for a third of the budget of the first one. Brought home a little more than a third of what it did at the domestic box office. But it did very well on video, pushing it to become the most profitable of all Cannon's ninja movies. American Ninja 2 picked up a cult following, with a sizable number of fans citing it as their favorite installment. Sam First would not be coming back. He had little interest in stepping down to even lower budget territory and knew that he'd have a hard time following up his first two movies with the limited resources that Cannon was willing to put into the next one. So it's like, come on, you're not even going to give me, you give me even a cheaper budget? So he directed Riverbend with Steve James, and The Day We Met, 1990, Delta Force 3. So the third one passed on to South African filmmaker Cedric Sundstrom. Says that Michael Dudikoff was uncomfortable about continuing to shoot movies in South Africa under apartheid. Cannon had double booked him. He was already committed to River of Death. The company wasn't ready to pump the brakes on their sequel train just because the franchise star wasn't available. So David Bradley. And David Bradley, apparently Michael Dudikoff met him at an LA car lot where David Bradley had been working selling cars. We have the motorcycle bit with the little bit of the greatest Steve here. A little bit of Steve McQueen. Obviously, the director, someone else thought of Michael Dudikoff had a little bit of Steve McQueen in them. Thank God there's a ramp there. You know, if they didn't have that ramp there, they would have been perfectly fine. So yeah, I guess that's where the stunt double got fucked up. You tell like when it landed. Wonder if that's why they had the stunt, the slow motion there. Like if that was always meant to have slow motion, or did they put slow motion in there because at the end there was a bit of a fuck up? So it seemed like in you would want it quicker because that way if it's moving so quick you don't notice the double as much because you're not paying attention, you're not seeing the double as long in normal motion as you would in slow motion. Because you're doing slow motion, that means you can notice a bit more about the person's face or the hair. But of course, a lot of times slow motion is used to illuminate a scene, so to speak. John Woo knows how to do that very well. I know Tino Lorber put these out on Blu-ray, and I think someone else did. I can't remember who. I think someone else put these out too. Don't remember who. But it was nice that there were actually some features on there and interviews. That was nice to see. Of course, the first one got the most features, like the longer interviews. Let's see. Yeah, Tino Lorber. We looked at him. Why? Do you want to fuck him? Go on a date with him? Yeah, pussycat without the cat. He's a real pussy. Let's see. Tino Lorber commentary with Sam Bird and stunt coordinator Stephen Lambert. Commentary with Sam Bird moderated. 22-minute Rumble in the Jungle with Michael Dudikoff, Judy Anderson, and directed Sam Bird. Maybe it was Tino Lorber, they just re-released it. Yeah, that might be what I'm thinking of. Is that Tino Lorber had released it. Olive Films, that's what it is. I had the Olive Films release. That's what it was. Olive Films. Olive Films had released these. And pretty much Tino Lorber just got them, and I don't know if they redid the. I don't have the Tino Lorber one. I have the Olive Films one. That's what it is. I would say the Tino Lorber was like they got better cover. They definitely have a better cover. The Olive Films cover is pretty lazy. But yeah. So yeah, Olive Films. I forgot about Olive Films. I forgot they were a thing. I just for a lot of films they felt they needed a love story in there. I don't know, for the ladies or whoever, for the dates. And 1985 was a hell of a year for action movies. I definitely think it's one of the best years for action movies. Just think of it this way: 1985. Not only do you have American Ninja, but you got Rambo: First Blood Part Two. You got Commando. You got Death Wish 3. You got Invasion USA. And this movie. I mean, Rambo 2 is my favorite Stallone film. Invasion USA, definitely one of my favorite Chuck Norris films. Commando, one of my favorite Arnold films. American Ninja, one of my favorite ninja films. Death Wish 3, my favorite Charles Bronson film. I report to the morning pool where he's going to be attacked by the ninjas. All those damn ninjas. Let's just real quick. Sorry about that. Yeah, these guys seem like they're on the up and up. Yes, si, senor. Yeah, everything's fine. Everything copacetic. The bastards. Them motherfuckers. Well, he's gonna kick the shit out of them. Get him, Joe! G.I. Joe! The American ninja hero. Coming to slice the day. Fucking throw shit at me. Not sure if you need to do that dive, but hey, if it works. Try the ninja shit with me. Cost you big time. Give me your sword. There we go. Nice slice there, and a slice there. Maybe should not have done that flip. Should just jump down. Save you some time, bitch. I like this bit here where he stabs the guy. Oh, just the little rice or whatever it is, the sand. For some reason, just sells it. I think the one thing would have been nice is if when it's falling down, you see a bit of red in there, like when that, I don't know if it's sand, or whatever, falling. You see a little bit of red in it. That would have been nice. I thought this was kind of cool, seeing the silhouette, the shadow. And to have no cuts, no edits here. There's more shadows. There you go. Fuck on my face. Just have your hero be a fucking badass. You know, sometimes we're not asking for much. Of course, this is the age where I'm watching these films, and the cartoon I'm watching the most is Ninja Turtles. You know, I'm 7 years old. Ninja Turtles, 1990, they're a big thing, cartoon and first movie. And then I'm watching these movies, so it's all that ninja. You know, seeing these movies on VHS. And loving these type of action films, seeing Rambo 2, Rambo 3, The Perfect Weapon in 1991 or so, The Last Boy Scout, like these type of action films I grew up with and love, and testosterone, and these are our comic book movies. Like just throwing the swords like that. Not too shabby choreography. And then we go to music from Missing Action. There we go. Now Missing Action music. I would have to wonder what the composer feels about that. Like, he's trying to do music, then it's like, oh, here's Revenge of the Ninja music. Here's Missing Action music. It's great music. I'll give you that. I love the music. But it is music from Missing Action. It's great, so if you don't use it, use it. Dun, dun, dun. Now, come on, get this guy out of there, man. This henchman, there you go. Credit to that stuntman to be right in front of a truck, be pushed around like that, and thrown into the water. That henchman deserves a raise. He lasts a lot longer than the other henchmen. I always laugh. There's one point where the driver, he like mutters like he's trying to mimic the engine. It's like, it's during this bit coming up. Come up in a second, right about here, when we next go back to him. Okay, come on. That's what it is. Come on. Must have been some quick thinking to grab him to the front of that when he's backwards right towards it. There you go. Now, I don't know if trucks are this high that you could really get under these like this. But hey, it works for Indiana Jones and it works for this movie. I'm sure there are trucks that you can, of course. I just didn't know of these specific ones. But it looks like you can, so maybe you can on these. Thank God they don't have any dogs. Of course, nowadays you'd have some kind of cell phone and you'd be like, track this signal or take all the pictures, take all the video. It's interesting when you watch these older films and you think about, what if you had the technology today, as simple as a phone, record everything, record where they're at, record the address, just recording the whole thing and call, trace his location, all that jazz. I always thought that was a weird piece of music. Like, I mean, what is this, Fancy Island? Like, da 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 da. How like the truck is just stopping. Like we having this like grandiose violin, or not violin, but I don't know what instrument that is. The string, whatever the string instrument, just for a truck stopping. Seem pretty grandiose for that. For a second, the bad guy had his hands like this. I thought for some reason he was just gonna wipe his hands on the Black Star Ninja. We set up this weapon here. Steve James will be using that at the end, but we set this up here. Seems like a complicated weapon to deal with. Now, Grant, I'm the guy. The guy said, "Hey, you," and decided to walk up Why he didn't just aim the gun at him? Hey, you, let me put my gun over here for you to kick me in the face. instead of just, instead of, hey, you, he went, hey, you. Sorry, I keep doing this, but nose itches. And this music is kind of weird. It's like trying to string up a guitar and trying to get it to work because the strings are loose. Shit, the strings are loose. It's not working. I think this music's from another movie too. I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me that. Keep thinking it is though. It might be. I don't know. God, these guys are like stormtroopers. They can't aim for shit. Nice roll there. Bastards, you flattened the tire. Run to the woods. I mean, to the jungle. Yep, it's the bear can. Again, that's the convenience that thankfully this guy worked for the bad guy. So now they meet again. Oh, it's like a tunnel or something. I can't really clear it. Something in there. Oh, there you go. Underground bunker. They didn't really look too far. They just, let me move this branch a bit. He's like, fuck it. There's too many damn thorns in there. Too many of that damn things that get stuck in your clothes and prickly. Fuck it. He's gone. He's gone. What is that thing on his right shoulder? It's like a pad thing. I wonder what that, if I don't know if anyone knows. It's like on his shoulder there's like this cloth thing. Like here. I don't know what that is. Who's a little bit of redneck? That guy has to be dubbed. His lips were not matching. And there's no way that guy sounds like a guy from Louisiana. Let me tell you something. I'm about to come back here for some Bayou Billy here. We'll play some Bayou Billy and want some ragu chili. Man, this guy has about as good teeth as I do. Like I said, that thing on his right shoulder, I don't know. Oh, I think that's his hat. That's what it is. It's his hat. Okay. So is that what that's for? To put his hat? Okay. The hat that he puts on like this. Okay. I didn't realize they had things on their clothes that they just, okay, take the hat off and put it on the shoulder. But I've never been in the army, so there you go. Now Steve James going to talk to Judy Aronson. And of course, I mean, 1985, the big movie of this year was Back to the Future. Because this guy's a hard ass. He's worked with the bad guys. So he gets his just desserts later on. You knew this guy was a bad guy. He's eating this fruit with a fucking knife. Not a fork. That's pussy shit. Eat it with a knife. That's not a knife. This is a knife. Guy eat my fruit with a knife. That's how fucking badass he is. That fucking bad guy. I'm looking up 1985 films. Wondering what the hell are you doing? What else came out this year? Because I guarantee you it's still better than what 2023 was. Yeah, this guy knows something's up. Let's see. We had what was the big films this year? Back to the Future, Rambo: First Blood Part 2, Rocky 4, The Color Purple, Purple Out of Africa, Cocoon, Jewel of the Nile, Witness, The Goonies, Spies Like Us. That's right, Rocky 4 was the same year, 85. So yeah, two of my favorite Stallone films, Rambo 2, my favorite Rocky film, Rocky 4, my favorite Rambo film, my favorite Stallone film, Rambo 2. Oh, there you go. Damn, killing the shit out of this guy. I think that's Richard Norton, who of course would be an action star on his own, Under the Gun among others. I think that's who it is. It looked like him. Let me double check. Was that Richard Norton? Let me double check. Yep. He was a stuntman, and that was Richard Norton. Just like he was a stuntman and had a small role in the Octagon, along with this guy here. Well, this guy had a much bigger role in that. But yeah, Richard Norton, he was in the China O'Brien films with Cynthia Rothrock, China O'Brien 1 and 2. I would say the best film he starred in was Under the Gun. That's an entertaining one. He was in Mr. Nice Guy. He was the villain in that. The Jackie Chan movie. He did some of his other direct-to-video films. He was a bad guy in City Hunter. So, because I was like, that guy looks fucking familiar. So yeah, that was Richard Norton. But yeah, 1985 for action films. Commando, A View to a Kill, the James Bond movie. Rambo First Blood Part 2, To Live and Die in L.A., Runaway Train, Police Story of Jackie Chan, Death Wish 3, Remo Williams, Invasion USA, Cold as Silence, Missing Action to the Beginning, which I really enjoy that one. American Ninja, of course. Pray for Death, Shotasugi. So, getting quite a bit of stuff, man. I forgot that many Chuck Norris films came out that year. Like, Cold as Silence is one of Chuck Norris's most well-received movies. Invasion USA is one of my favorite. Same with Missing Action to the Beginning. I like this whole thing. Like, you got the ninja showing how much of a badass he is, killing all the MPs. You got the chase scene here. We got this whole thing fight here. A little bit back and forth. Director knew to shoot it wide enough, back far enough, so we see their steel. No shaky cam. It's not confused or anything. Imagine you have to say that sentence to someone. Ninjas try to. They sent ninjas to kill me in my cell. It's not the sentence you get to say every day. And you have to make it sound legit. Ah, there you go. That seemed like kind of a weird cut. Like they're in the middle of this conversation. Then we show some random MP dead. Then we go back to them talking. Makes you wonder if that was always meant to be that way. I don't know, it just seemed like kind of a weird edit. Like, we're in the middle of talking. This random MP, I don't know who the fuck he is dead. We're in the middle of talking again. I don't know if that was meant to be somewhere else. And it's like, well, we'll put it here as a way to edit between the two pieces of conversation. I don't know. This is what you do for trusting. Now look at Joe. He does the right thing. He listens to the lady. He trusts them. And he just fucked over. He thinks everything's fine, but then he gets fucked over. And it's like, this is what he gets for trusting you. He trusts the woman, and he trusts the black man. That's what he gets. It's not their fault. It's this chicken shit guy here. Well, why don't you try to do something, Mr. Gomer Pyle? Sucking your gut. Yeah, you're investing your ball sweat is what you're doing. He's full of shit. He probably didn't even call it. Oh yeah, he's calling them. He played you guys well. I don't blame Joe. He's not excited because his guard is up and he's right for it. As we're going to see, don't get fucked over right here. That's what he gets for listening to you two. That's what he gets. And this girl immediately believes him. Look, this girl immediately believes him. Look at this girl. Steve James is more of a buddy than her. Steve James knows this is bullshit. See? That's why Steve James is more likable than her. She bought in that bullshit just like that, and they're supposed to be lovers. But hey, bros before hoes. This shows that's a worthy thing. Then Steve James kissed that gun, rile the guys. I like afterward. He's like, "Hey, I'm sorry, man. I'm just excitable." Like Steve James like, "Hey, it's okay. You know, I know get the gun out of your hand, but it's okay, man. It's alright." I miss Steve James, man. He should have been a star. If Canon Films knew how to use him, he would have been the '80s version of Wesley Snipes. I mean it. You get some good strips, some good directors, some high octane action. You could get Steve James' version of Passenger 57 and other stuff. Man. Or you get like a good director and have them like Denzel did with Tony Scott. Like Steve James in Deja Vu or Man on Fire and stuff, man. Could have. This guy needs to go. Fuck you, Mr. Harmonic. Now, he hit that tree probably like 8 miles per hour, and I don't know why it blew up. Again, he was hitting that tree like 8 to 10 miles per hour. I don't know why the truck blew up. This is the '80s, gotta blow up. But I mean, you watch it going. He wasn't driving that quick, and again, it was like. It can't be more than 10 miles per hour. At least when he was going down the hill to that tree. If it was like more of a crash and like his face is in the windshield, I guess that'd be too gory, too violent, maybe. I don't know. So I guess insurance policy in case this guy backs out. She deserves to be kidnapped for selling out Joe that quick. Like that quick, you just sold out on Joe. You deserve to be kidnapped. That's right. Punch right to the neck. Selling, yeah, bros before hoes. I mean, he punched her in the neck like to knock her out, but then her eyes open, and then he drugs her. So I guess Puncher's like, calm down. Now I'm going to drug you. You think one or the other would be effective? Like, why didn't he just drug her, or why did he just punch her and knock her out? He had to. I just say you do both. You'd be for damn Stippy certain she'll be out of it. It was this movie's version of double tapping. I didn't know it was the John Wayne uh, picture in the previous scene on his wall. John Wayne picture. It's too late, buddy. You dug your hole, now you're living in it. That's why you can't really feel sorry for him when he gets killed later on. It's like the motherfucker deserves it. Are you sorry, sons of bitches? Kick your ass. Kick your ass. Thank God you didn't have a gun. Ooh, the nut clincher. More like the nutcracker. That's some nut cracking. Not just the tip, but just squeezing the foot into the crotch. It's like, god damn. Nutcracker sweet. But yeah, I mean, this type of film was in theaters, and not nowadays. They would not put this type of film in theaters, sadly. It'd be labeled too low budget, or too minuscule, or too generic, or whatever names they throw at it. And then it would go to streaming, at whatever streaming platform you think of. Again, what made the film work is that it gave the audience what it wanted. It gave you your ninja action. You have this new star that's got the look. Can do the moves well enough. The pacing is pretty fast. I like this guy too, plays the sensei. He has a calming presence to him that works well for a sensei. And just a very calming presence. Now, we don't see him as a baby or any other ages, just this one kid. Now, we never did know what happened to Joe, like how he got there in the first place. Like, obviously he was abandoned, but how did that come about? Was he just left in the forest in the jungle? Did something else happen to lead to that? You think maybe for a sequel that we could lead into maybe there's something else to that? But no, you never find out. They didn't really want to go that deep into the American Ninja franchise. I remember doing this stuff when I was a kid. This stuff here. Sai, Zane, Ninja Magic. Like I said, I think what Dudikoff, at least he had that easygoing demeanor, soft spoken, that it just felt natural, more natural, less quote wooden. Like if other people do it, it would seem like they just couldn't act for shit. Here it seemed like no, that's just how he talks, and like Eastwood, that's how he talks, and even Charles Bronson, that's how he talks. Just like that's just how that guy talks. It's not that they're wooden or they have the it factor, which you have it or you don't. Jean-Claude Van Damme had it. I know a lot of people were pissed off and jealous of him. But he had that factor and he had the qualities that made him a big star. And a few years later, you had Bloodsport and Kickboxer and Cyborg and Lionheart and so forth. And that's the martial arts of the 80s in America, is that is pretty much Chuck Norris at this point. They try to create like another star or two. I forget the guy's name. Was it The Jaguar Lives? Who starred in that? That guy. Because that's the guy they tried to make into a star. Joe Lewis? Yeah, Joe Lewis. That was 1979. So they said there were a few others that they wanted to make into it, but they didn't quite get up to Chuck Norris's level in America, I should say. Other than people overseas being brought like Bruce Lee and his films and the kung fu movies people see in theaters and the Bruce Lee knockoffs. But I think people were seeing that and they had a bit of an appetite for this type of stuff. So is there anything we can make specifically for the American market? Chuck Norris was filling that void, and then after that, these ninja movies, and Enter the Ninja, Revenge of the Ninja, Ninja 3, and then these. Big Trouble in Little China in 1986. Like this is stuff kind of whetting the appetite of people until then Jean-Claude Van Damme came onto the screen. Then soon after you had Steven Seagal and you had all these other guys and Joe seemed like he had a shitty plan. I'm just gonna come out here, be so fucking far away. I guess it's like, hey, you don't come for me, they don't try to shoot him. Kind of sucks. He has size and he did nothing with them. Of course, size, I'm a sucker for because of Raphael, my favorite ninja turtle. He had size and they didn't do shit. So now, back to the swords. I don't know if they wanted to kind of just ease up with the MPAA. Do you see with a lot of these sword hits, you don't really see much blood. I felt like you saw more with Revenge of the Ninja. I don't know, maybe they have problems with the MPAA, so it's like, let's ease up on blood. Because again, there's nothing as grisly as some of the stuff in Revenge of the Ninja, like the star to the kid's face and stuff. There's an aftermath of the guy with a star in it, but even that, you didn't see a lot of blood. You saw the star in it, but you didn't see like a lot of blood around it. A lot of these sword hits, you don't really see much blood in there. But I think choreography's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Some nice choreography. And of course, with his face covered up, how much of this is Dudkoff? I don't know. Pretty impressive to be invisible. Up here, Steve James. Talk about Rambo. Blambo. Black Rambo. I love Steve James just kicking ass here. He's on top of the truck. Yeah, that's what I like about American Ninja 2. He has more to do in the sequel, the second one. And this is what people want in the 80s. We got the gunfight, firefight stuff, the G.I. Joe type of action, mixed in with the ninja action. Like Snake Eyes in G.I. Joe. You got... Like, this is a better G.I. Joe movie than the actual G.I. Joe movies. There you go. Steve James rocking it. What happened to all those other color-coded ninjas? Where's all the yellow and blue and orange ninjas? Where's all the red ninjas? Because they're taking a break. They're on vacation. We saw the black-clad ninjas. Where's the other ninjas? There's Steve James kicking ass with that. I'll take this bitch uptown. There he goes. Then just like stormtroopers, they can't hit him. But Steve James can. How fun that must have been to just have this machine gun just fire. Oh, there's the size. There you go. He must have picked them back up. Now he's not holding them anymore. He had the size in his hands. Now he doesn't anymore. I guess he just off screen. He picked them up, then he let them go. Oh shit. I said Steve has a lot of fun, levity, and personality he brings into a fight like that. And all the crazy inventions of a ninja, you got flamethrowers and shit. There you go. Did you see how you like that numbnuts? Ooh. Big old tit knee, as you say, and right there. Now, where's all those... See, all those ninjas could have come in and killed these soldiers like they did at the beginning. Yeah, where's all the orange ninjas, the blue ninjas? Ooh. Nice knife throw, Steve. It's still nice to see Steve James get some moments to shine. Dealing with the machine gun, the one-on-one fight, that knife gag, and he blows up the helicopter. It's glad they didn't neglect Steve James and just gave him some a lot of fun moments again to shine. These ninjas are like, I don't take you out with my sword. Those ninjas didn't have a chance. You had to think those ninjas like, I'm fucked. They got all these guns. I'm fucked. Unless I could block these like a lightsaber blocking some blasts. I ain't gonna make it. Come on, fight one-on-one with me. But this is a nice ninja fight to be through all these. Yeah, that guy was having a good day. Steve James beat the shit out of him. Hey, that guy deserves it. That's what you get. Don't worry about it, lady. Your father was an asshole. Nice for that bad guy to wait for his ninja. I just like, come on, you can't leave without your ninja. Wait for our ninja. I forgot he had a laser. All ninjas are equipped with lasers. It's the 80s. It's a must. I wait. Sometimes it sounds like the Black Star Ninja's calling him asshole. I don't know why. Asshole. There you go. That's what you get. Ooh, there you go. 99 snapperhead. I mean, it's a pretty good stunt. You tried jump on a fucking helicopter and hang from the front. See you do it. No CGI, no filters, just stuntmen doing their jobs. Dangerous, hard work of a job. Ah, there we go. That weapon we saw earlier. We seems to getting very complicated with all these wires and cords, and you got to turn the switch on and stuff. And this thing up in front of it, which I don't know what the hell that thing does. It looks like a tray you put your French fries on or something like at McDonald's. They put it in the little basket to deep fry the French fry. What the hell they do? Fry them. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Yeah, I am with an explosion. Come on now. Dan, that was great. Again, Steve James getting moments to shine. There he goes. Don't know what he's thinking of. Thinking of his master who died. Thinking, can't wait for the sequel. What's going to happen to me now? And of course, the wide shot to show the mayhem and carnage. American Ninja, Golden Globes production. Michael Dudikoff, Steve James, Judy Aronson, John Fujioka. Yeah, John LaMotta, Mr. Opmonic from Elf. Tadashi Yamashita, Black Star Ninja. He was on, like I said, the Octagon with Chuck Norris. Steve Lambert and Mike Stone. Martial arts quarter Mike Stone. I think Mike Stone became the villain in the second film. Richard Norton, he did stunts, and he was one of the MPs that got his throat slashed by the Black Star Ninja. Showing a big wide scope of the Philippines there. Still a fun movie. Entertaining. This is what Canon Films did. Bring you escapism, fun. No politics. No annoying cinematography filters that screw up with the coloring or the whole steam of cinematography. No CGI, no CGI blood. So, yeah, the second one is still my favorite, but still an entertaining film and good start to the franchise. Sadly, the third one, Steve James is the MVP. The fourth one I thought was really lame, and the fifth one was really lame. So I would still keep the third one because of Steve James. So after that, you didn't need any more. But that's that. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, Johnny. And we'll see you guys later. Bye bye.